G'day everyone, Roy at Sunland Caravans. Look, what a crazy world we have. Today, Stephen and Helen were supposed to be in to pick up their brand new caravan, but Brisbane has decided to go into lockdown. COVID, what can I say? So they're actually going to have to pick it up tomorrow. Anyway, give us a bit more time to have a look at what they've purchased. So come, let's have a look at this van. So some of these things you've seen previously because these are things I particularly like. One of the things I love here is this blackjack. Now the blackjack is this electric leg that goes on the front, and they're now supplying it with a really nice funky cover. Sort of locks into place, and actually it's rather gorgeous. So that works out well. So they've got the blackjack on the front here. They've got a rear camera, so the rear camera mount's fitted there. They've got the ESC, so the little controller for that, or indicator should I say, that's also on the A-frame. Double jockey brace leg, ratchet handbrake, DO35, and some good chains there. They've also added a wood carrier. So with the wood carrier, we raise the toolbox with these razors here, put a tray inside there so you can carry your wood underneath it. This is also powder coated, but you can see the checker plates on the outside. Now normally we have it round the other way. This one, the checker plates on the outside, and I have to say I rather like this way. So we'll see whether or not that changes for future models. They've also gone for the grey, and then they've gone for this dark Sunland logo on the front. So this is a really nice looking rig. It's again grey with the black around the outside. It's done really nicely. The huge tunnel boot contains the slide out barbecue. So this is a Phoenix with all the standard Phoenix features on it, bar the automatic airbag. We'll come back to that one. So got this nice barbecue on the front, and they've got the table here and another one at the rear. So when they're having their barbecue, they can drop this table down, that table down, and actually, you know, sort of cook the food here and maybe transfer it so they can use the other table. Works really nicely. Now, they've gone for the motion detection lights at the top and the yellow and white light over the top of the barbecue. They've also got, of course, the electric awning. So let me show you on this one. I'll just open this Aussie Traveller door. Electric step. These are still a problem to get at the moment, I might add. This one's got the electric step fitted, and it's got the electric awning. So I'll just pull that awning out. Helps us all with the wonderful shade we need today in the caravan. I have to say it's looking a little gloomy compared to our normal Brisbane weather. Let's go down the side of the van. The entertainment hatch. Now in the entertainment hatch, we've got 240 volt, 12 volt. We've got the outlets for your antenna connection and your audio and video, so you can run those through to your TV. That just goes into the little clamp on the outside here. Works out really well. Moving down the van, your hot water service and your gas heater. Now, inside the back here, and I do want to talk briefly about this gas heater. I did have someone question me the other day, and they wrote and said, Roy, why do you recommend gas over diesel in the heaters? Well, the answer is reasonably simple. There's a few reasons. First off, we're taking an advantage of the fuel supply that already exists on the caravan. That is to say, we've already got gas there. So we're not having to fit an extra tank to carry diesel. Now, diesel by its nature is an oil. It's smelly, it's greasy, it's actually not that pleasant to handle anyway. But we don't need to now put an extra carrier in for that diesel. The other thing is the gas, because it's constantly being used, doesn't go off. Diesel, if you leave diesel standing for any period of time, 6 months or more, which for the use of a heater, if it's the only thing running on diesel, the diesel's likely to go off, which may mean that there's maintenance required on your heater. The other thing is the gas heater is actually slightly cheaper to purchase, the diesel being that little bit more expensive. And this doesn't generate any smell. where the diesel, you will get outside smells outside. So you mightn't smell it inside the Caravan, but your neighbour's certainly going to know about it. So there's some of the reasons why we prefer gas. The bottom line to that is when you want to use this baby, the controls beside the bed, you can just turn it on and you know it's going to work. You don't need to worry about, have I cleaned out the diesel first? So I hope that answers your question as to why I prefer gas over diesel. It ticks the appropriate boxes for me. It ends up being more reliable, it's lighter, and it's more cost efficient. That's got to be the go. So in the back here we've got the instant gas hot water service, the 2 pumps that you're used to seeing before, and the quick release filter. And again, you'll note we're now putting this on the outside on the door here, so you know how to turn those valves to get the maximum use out of the red water valve system that we fit. Okay, moving around the van, we're back into the power. Now, this one pretty standard, 225 amp hour batteries times 2, the 3000 watt inverter, which means they've got 4 180 amp hour watt solar panels on the roof. Again, wiring diagram. Now this does come in real handy. I had someone ring me the other night, they're having a bit of a problem and they didn't know where to find the fuses. I directed them to come around here, they went round here, found the appropriate fuse, problem was solved. This was a phone call late on a Friday night. It worked well. I was just able to direct them on how to resolve the problem. So that worked out well. Good job we got that in there, I think anyway. So again, moving around the Caravan, this has got the dust cover for the bottom fridge vent. We have got our grey water tank down there. Your back filler is your general purpose. Your front filler is your drinking water. This one's got nice black alloy wheels on it. Let's go and have a look on the inside, because for most people, that's where the magic really starts. I'm going to leave these things out for these guys to have a play with later, I think. So moving inside the van, first off, making use of that nice black handle on the outside here. They've gone with predominantly greys again. This is becoming very popular, this grey theme. I think in part because grey doesn't tend to date, that it always makes for a really good colour. And of course, you can put so many things with that sort of grey colour. You can go for blacks, or in this case, they've gone for a teal. So we've got the silver coloured doors and drawers. At the back here, we've gone for, this new part is to have this shelf inside the cupboard with the hanging robe, little triangles to put your coat hangers in with silver handles. They've gone for this diamond stitch, which is available on all of the Phoenix models. Again, we've moved away from the outside handles there, so everything's tucked away nicely. Reading lights and the control for that heater. So whoever's in charge of that one wants to be this side of the bed, they can turn it on, make sure it's nice and warm before they get out. Up in the ceiling, you'll also see on this side that this has got the Dometic dust protection system. Now, I've had a lot of people ask me which is the best one to go for. There are really 3 major ones that we go for. I believe there are others in the market, but the main ones we go for is either Dometic unit, the one that we build ourselves, and then there's the Caravan. Now, I would say ultimately probably the Caravan is probably the very best of all 3. It's got the advantage of having the pump inside it. You can get to the filter from inside the Caravan. So it's a really good system. However, it takes a lot of real estate and a little bit more expensive. The Dometic one, on the other hand, just sits up there, and as you're traveling along, there's no motors, we're not sucking air in, it's just allowing the atmospheric air to come into the Caravan through that filter, which is easily to get to by dropping the little flap. You can get to that filter real easy. I think this is the simplest one to use, and it's the most, well, the least expensive of the 3 options. The one we do ourselves is a very good system, but it's not developed like these other 2. You know, they've really had the money to develop the product better. So our one's still quite good, works with an electric motor, but you have to get on the roof to change the filter. That's why my preference has been for these other two brands. So anyone that's wondering why we're not promoting our own product and we're promoting the others, it is because actually the others are better. Occasionally that can happen. They've fitted 2 Sirocco fans to this, one each side. That's become a very common thing to do. They've gone for a white one. You can get white, you can get black, and of course we've now got those really nice NCE ones to offer as well. So there's some variety of options available. Now, I don't make a big enough deal about our seating, and I really should. These seats are so comfortable, they're so well built. The lass that works for us, Noel, that does this, been doing it for a long time, and actually I hope this doesn't get back to her, but she does a really good job, even though she keeps pestering me for pay increases. Another conversation. This little panel here has been designed as a backrest, so when I sit here like this, I can put my feet up, relax, and actually it's a really nice position. I can watch TV, say hello to someone sitting opposite me, whatever I want to do. It's really comfy. But if I want to get 4 people in, it's now a little bit more cramped. So what we need to do is remove this panel, and we can just throw that over onto the bed, and we've now actually got that space to make it easier to fit 4 people into this seat. So whilst I have other seat options, this is still my preferred one. I think it works really, really well, and it's a lot more flexible. Flexibility's got to be a good thing. Let me show you what they've done over here. So in the galley, they've gone for Evo Stone. They've got this nice grey Evo Stone. They've opted to get rid of the pull-out pantry that they normally come with, and they've opted for these 3 tiny little drawers. They've also gone for the full oven. Now the full oven is standard on the Phoenix, so a lot of people have opted not to have the oven, and they put a pot drawer down there instead. So these folks have gone for it. This is a Swift, and they've come up with this new catch here, which I rather like. Stops this lid jumping up and down. I do like the fact that that sits flush across there. It works better. You can get pots and pans with a lot more space. That's 3+1. There's a fair argument to say you don't need that much. A lot of people now are just fitting 2 gas, but anyway, this is 3+1 and a full Swift oven, which means this has got the fan force feature in it. Has got the bin, and because it's Evo Stone, we've beautifully polished all this in. You've got the underslung sink. This has got the water filter as you saw before, and underneath it's got the two drawers. Again, this Evo Stone's sort of a grey, so it's the grey and the silver grey. It all really goes together really, really well. They've opted with the fridge to put the mirror face on it. Again, that's a feature that I really like. I think the putting the mirror in here gives you a full height mirror. It's the only way you're going to get a full height mirror into a caravan. A really good feature. They've got the fantastic hatch. They have got the Ibis 4 air conditioner. So we've been very lucky that these guys have managed to get all the things they wanted for the caravan. So moving into here, they have got the 3.3 kilo top load washing machine from Sphere, the illuminated mirror, and the beautiful fiberglass sink with the 3 drawers underneath. Now, if I can get Michael to extort himself a little bit, I think that's the right word, extort. Yeah, I think it's the right word. Just want to move and talk a little bit more about these electronics up here. So we've spoken previously about the fact that what we've got is this is your safety switches, and there are 3 safety switches here. 2 safety switches and a changeover switch. So the changeover switch takes it from mains to inverter. So it's currently in the mains position, neutral position, and then down to turn the inverter on. To make the inverter actually work now, we need to go to this one called the multi-control and change that into the on position. And now, you may have heard the beeping, we're now running 240 volt from our batteries. So that's now got a safety switch, which is this one here. Now inside this cupboard, you'll find that there's a safety warning for the RCD. RCD, residual current device. Now the RCD is, there's 2 of them, one for the inverter and one for the main. So when you're running on the inverter, rather than someone being able to get an electronic shock from it or electric shock from it, we've got the RCD on this. So that's this first one. You should always check these for working. The little safety sticker inside that door says every 6 months. I've been told recently that probably should be almost daily. And it's not a bad idea. It is a safety device. It is terribly important to protect yourself. So it's not a bad idea to do it. So all you do to test this is to press the blue button, and you'll see that's immediately drop down to tell me that the RCD is working. Now you can check the mains one when you're hooked up to mains. So we'll just take this back. We'll turn that inverter back into the mains position. We're not currently on mains, but if we were, we'd depress that button. That should automatically drop and tell me then that the RCD is operating. This is a very important switch here. It's overlooked a lot in conversations, but if you're having a 240 volt problem, this is the first place I go looking. These are, in my opinion, more prone to failure than most other devices. So just keep an eye on that and do test them regularly. Make sure they're working. It is a lifesaver. So the next one up here is your solar isolator. You really would not use this unless you're disconnecting your solar or someone's working on the solar. Solar can put out quite a whack. So if you are using it for solar, if you are working on the solar, that should be simply turned off so that the solar is no longer working. Now, bear in mind, I've now isolated that. The batteries wouldn't be getting solar anymore. And in fact, the batteries on this particular Caravan, when I look at the next gauge here, which is a lithium batteries systems gauge, it's telling me that my batteries are at 97%. Now 97%, this has been sitting with the fridge running now for days, and we've had a fair bit of inclement weather here in Brisbane, quite a bit of rain, a lot of overcast days, and that's been running this all the time. It's at 97%, that's pretty darn good. The voltage is at 13.2, and this is saying that in fact, if it didn't get any charge at all, we've still got 17 hours, 1 day and 17 hours left of running on that battery with no input charge at all, running that fridge, which is pretty darn good, I have to say. Up the top here, you've got your multi-controller. That's got the inverter and charger. So when we put it on inverter, we bring that onto the on. Otherwise, we leave it into the charge position. That means when we plug into 240 volt, that's going to charge your battery. So if this is on the on position and the inverter is still in the mains position, you plug your 240 volt in, it's not going to charge your battery. You need it to be on the charger side. So it's always on the charger side unless you're running the inverter. And again, I'll repeat with the inverter, only turn that on when you need to use it, turn it off the moment you're not using it. And the reason for that is you're drawing ampage in standby mode that's flattening your battery, and you don't need to do that if you're not using it. And then at the top here, we've got your test for your 2 water levels. So it indicates the drinking water and the general purpose, how much level. It's an indicator. It's not 100% accurate. That's not going to tell you you've got 100 litres left or 50 litres left. It just tells you you're 3/4 full or whatever. And this one here now becomes your heater control. So this is the heater control for your Gerard. First off, it needs to be on with a little red light showing, and then you can change the temperature of that water up and down here. Now all these devices do come with control with manuals that are in the black book that we provide on every Caravan that we build. So if you want a lot more information on that, go to that reference book that we give you. I know the common practice seems to be we only go to references when everything fails. You've got to be on the road. These things are important to you. You really need to know. Now, I'm always available pretty much 7 days a week. If you've got a problem, you can always ring me on my mobile phone. But if you do a little bit of study on this, we can reduce the amount of phone calls that we have. Moving on here, you might be able to pick up on the nice mood lighting underneath the galley there. There are a few changes that we'll be making to these models later down the track, but at this moment in time, the lighting that you see in here is the way we do it, and it looks awesome. This is an aluminium cladded van. It's not, it's a fiberglass cladded van with an aluminium frame. It's not a composite one. So this really is about as close to a standard Phoenix as we're likely to show you anytime soon anyway. So look, I hope you're enjoying these videos. I hope you're getting something out of this information. So if you are, Again, please remember, share, like, subscribe. Hit that alarm button so that you're kept in contact with us. If you want more information, you can go to sunlandcaravans.com.au, have a look at that. You can come to our physical address here at Strathvale Court, Caboolture. You can ring the landline 0754992250. You can ring my mobile number 0410 574 127. Look, please, if you've got any questions or anything you're unsure about, do send a request through and I will try and cover it on the next video. So again, hope you like this and I'll see you for the next one.